Slides it down for Gagne. Morrow goes to the front of the net. Here's Stewart. Over to Gagne. Chimera. Morrow still battling in the slot. Gagne into the corner. Morrow comes over to get it. Back for Gagne. Morrow whipped it across. Campbell had moved well in from the left point, but couldn't control the pass. Chimera. Off a skate. Morrow will hustle hard after it. Lyashenko got there, couldn't get it out. Here's Campbell up towards the corner. Chimera back in the net for Gagne. Looking in front. Morrow's out there. Campbell moves up as well. 50 seconds left in the power play. Chimera to Morrow. And couldn't pull it to the backhand. Stewart throws it across. Here's Campbell. Over to Stewart. Shooting. That was tipped wide. Back of the net. Chimera picks it up. Gagne's in front. Morrow's in the mix as well. And Stewart moving in for the point. And he was right there to take that pass. But a big play by Peter Stashlevi to break it up. Or that was right on the tape of Stewart.
The Russians have only allowed one goal scored against them when they've been out there killing penalties in this tournament. They won't give you much from the middle, but they will give you the opportunity from the perimeters and sometimes from the point. At the same time, you have to be very concerned as to making sure you at least get that pass through. Stashlevi just threw that puck down. Even though he was on his knees, he showed great strength.
Well, he was effective in getting it out, but even more effective in knowing what was going to happen and blocking that pass that was going to Stewart. He had moved in from the right point. Fata comes up after it.
With no red line here, Canada will have to make sure that they watch the penalty box very closely.
Zabakin poised to come out. 5 seconds left in the power play. Van Ryan up to center for Canada. And he picks it up again. Fata and Tkachuk are out in the slot. Here's Van Ryan. Looking, shoots. Kicked away by Volkov. Penalized player is back on. The team's even up. Zabakin sneaking behind the defense up towards the blue line. At least he was. Now he gets it across in front. Scores! Tschoubarov. Zabakin got it in front to Tschoubarov, and it's 1-0 for the Russians.
Well, when you get a power play opportunity and you don't score, so often, as soon as you're even strength, the opposition ends up with a scoring opportunity. Canada got caught. Van Ryan went to take his man. Calder got caught up ice a little bit, but then everybody kind of came back except for whoever was covering him in the slot. Tschoubarov was left all alone in the slot, and they found him with the puck. Canada had enough men back in their own end, but just not in the right place.
And that comes with under a minute to go in the period. And it's a cliche, but those hurt. Anything in the first minute or the last minute. Look at Ward, though, fighting his way up there. And couldn't quite finish the play with a shot, but what a great effort from Jason Ward. Balmotchnykh, wrist shot. That's wrestled away by Luongo. That caught him on the shoulder, and he was a little slow getting up off of one knee back behind the play. Puck played up off the boards by Morrow. It comes to Stewart. Now trying to work through. Kirilenko had it knocked away.
Tom Ranney put that line out on the ice right after they've been scored against, simply to get the momentum back. They have been known as a bang and crasher line when they put those three together.
Trying to sneak in front. Nikotenko tried to center it, and time runs out in the first period. Oh, the shots on goal. Luongo was a busy man. 14-4 the shots. The Russians get a goal at 19:07. Tschoubarov got it from Zabakin and Afinogenov.
Canada's got to make sure that they read and react a little bit better than they did in that first period.
And by that you mean?
Well, when they approach the blue line, you can't have tunnel vision. You can't just always dump that puck in, even though that's been successful for them with their game plans against other teams.
That puck goes off of Fata. Tkachuk and Calder up there with him. Baranikin gets it up around the board. Stewart, though, kept it in. Calder was spun around back behind the play, and the fans hooting and hollering for a penalty. Tkachuk flips it back in. And play whistle down. The puck was gloved ahead. First period summary brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you? Tschoubarov scoring the only goal. Zivakin and Afinogenov picking up the assists inside that last minute. Bob McKenzie down at ice level. What's going on, Bob?
I asked Coach Tom Rennie as he made his way out for the second period what his team has to do. He says very simple. Their mind has to convince their feet to get moving. Just the emotion issue we talked about.
Here's Campbell. I would think, unlike the American game where Canada just didn't show up, they were flat. I think in this one it's more a case of nerves. Van Ryan coming out, clears it ahead. That missed lead and an icing call on Canada. 1-0 after one period. Between the boards after one period, brought to you by Molson Canadian. Look at the scoring chances. That's the one that jumps out at me. 4-0. Not a 1 for Canada.
Well, on the power play too, though, the Russians were able to get 3 shots. Canada were not able to get a shot on net during their power play. The Russians are the least penalized team coming into this game in the tournament. They've only averaged 10 penalty minutes per game. Canada 19.
That was Arkhipov who broke his stick in the face-off. He went to the bench and has a new piece of lumber. Actually, these days, a new piece of fiberglass, more like it. Puck cleared off the boards and down the ice. Zivakin whipped it across. Here comes Arkhipov in over the line. Pumped that one wide of the goal. There's that stick down in the ice, the broken one. Cleared in by Kokorev. Van Ryan gets it up around the boards. And here comes Ward for Canada. Up ahead for Mayer. Led him just a little bit too much. Bouk moving up into the play. Tyler Bouk along the boards. And the pass missing Balmotchnykh. And he heads to the bench. Russia getting in a couple of changes. Tyler Bouk for Canada. Turned the puck over to Arkhipov. Dumped it back. Skipped it on goal there by Zivakin. And Luongo hangs on. That was a clever play by Zivakin. Just kind of chopped it in.
Now, Bob Kenzie mentioned about Tom Rennie wanting his team to move their feet. He knows if they move their feet, they'll get some scoring opportunities. In Canada, aren't too concerned about not being able to score as they were in last year's tournament. This year's team has shown that they can score. 14 different players have scored. They're the second best team offensively. And yeah, they lit it up against the Kazakhstans, but so did the Russians against Kazakhstan and Belarus and Switzerland. Canada have got 5 players in the top 12 scoring leaders in this tournament.
The Russians coming out of a much easier pool. They opened up against Sweden, lost that game, and then after that it was relatively easy going. Relative to the fact that this is the A pool and there aren't really any patsies around anymore. On pass up ahead, Chimera looking for it. Drukin coming up as well. And Volkov just decides to hang on. And Chimera gave him a little rub as he went by putting on the brakes. We are early in the second period. Canada trailing Russia 1-0 in the gold medal game.
Well, we talked about Canadian offense, but at the same time, they've got to test Volkov. We talked about him at the top of the show and the fact that he might be the weak link on this Russian team. At least that's what people have questioned. At the same time, he's had a great goals against average. The Russians have been the best defensive team in the league. And so far in this game, well, we don't really know because Canada just have not tested Volkov, who plays in the Quebec Junior League for Halifax.
Drukin up in the face-off. McDonnell and Chimera out there with him. Andrew Ferentz and Bryan Allen back at the blue line. Here's Chimera. Varanakine trying to get it out for the Russians. Leoshenko stepped around to check. Comes in. That one got away on him. Comes off the glass. Centered across in front of the net. Leoshenko couldn't get there in time. Chimera on the way back for Canada. Had 2 Russians to beat and couldn't do it. This is Danica for Russia. Ryazantsev moves it ahead. Andrew Ferentz knocks it